First of all, what do you think about witchcraft?
See, I think I'm messing this up for you. What I was gonna say was my question on that is, what do you consider witchcraft then?
I
Because when I
mean,
watched that video, I was like, "What are these black witches at?" I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Oh
no.
shit!" And they started talking about stuff. I was like, "Oh snap! I be doing something." I was like, "Oh shit! Am I they? Are we a group?" So it's like, what is witchcraft then? What constitutes? Before I start walking into some of these corridors, saying, "I understand. I understand it. I know it."
Okay, let's actually Google witchcraft, and then we can define it.
And them tarot cards, I've never done. Well, I've never had a reading, like go up to somebody and pay for it. I've always been interested, but I was like, nah, I can't do that. But I have dated people who like, let me draw some cards.
I've dated people who run the cards. I've ran the cards on myself, and I've looked at YouTubes that run the cards.
Jeez.
I have just checked it to see like what am I supposed to be doing, right? Because I think what happens when people turn to at least the tarot cards, it's like what's going on in life and what is going on with her or him and how are my parents doing or
But wait, what's the difference between tarot cards and horoscopes?
well, horoscopes is similar. Like you, first of all, they supposed to be using astrology to predict your horoscope.
But some of that stuff be true as shit.
A lot of it be true,
Like
right?
yesterday morning, I woke up tired as fuck, and I was like, man, it does not make sense for me to go to work today. I was like, I ain't going. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. It's gonna be like one damn kid sitting in the classroom. I'm gonna be mad that I took my gas. So I just sat home and I taught on the computer, and I'm looking at the kids, and there was only one of them who was at the school at 12. So I would have went for no reason. I looked at my horoscope, and it was like, today's a perfect day to play hooky. I was like, what? It's like, bro.
Okay. I just think that tarot cards are a little bit more deeper in delve. You're supposed to be this, they're supposed to be I guess talking to the spirits and the spirits talk to them. And astrology is pretty much somebody who's connecting the dots at their house and they write a blog post about it and you read it and that's your horoscope for today. Or you have general horoscopes. So according to Wikipedia, because we're just doing a quick search, witchcraft is the practice of what the practitioner, which believes to be magical skills and abilities, such as using spells, incantations, and magic rituals. So, whatever you believe is a magical skill or ability can be considered, witchcraft, I guess. Am I interpreting that correctly?
That's what it sounds like. So, like, if you believe it's magical, but dang, we all up in this black girl magic and harnessing this. You have magic. Everybody's magical. I do believe that everybody has like, or every vessel has like these abilities that we can tap into given the correct spiritual frequency.
Right.
Like, but then what do you call that? Like understanding that and how to manipulate it with the earth and the magnetic fields here and all of the properties and rocks and stuff that we find. What is that? Is it learning your environment and learning more about your body, which comes from the environment, or like, where's the line? That's what I'm saying. Like, so what is it? Because like,
well, so according to Wikipedia, historically, witchcraft use of supernatural means to cause harm to someone innocent and or not innocent. So, I mean, I'm sure people use it for their personal benefit, right? They like I was watching some of the research that we looked at, right?
mm-hmm.
And like one of the spells, like they were trying to some guy went to the witch and they were mocking it. It was like a practice thing, it was like they were just pretending. And he's like, "Yeah, I want my sister to stop messing with this guy." And that's so selfish, right? But then he goes to the witch, and the witch is like, "Okay, you pay them." And he has a spell. So the spell that this particular witch did was he took a lock and key, and please don't repeat these things out there without understanding them fully in depth. But he took a lock and key, put them inside of each other. Hey, Cash. Shh. put them inside of each other, turned it, locked it, and then took the key out of the lock. He put the lock in a bucket. He put the key in a bucket, and that was the end of the spell. And he said, "Yeah, they'll be broken up or stop messing with each other after that." But according to this definition, if you believe that, I guess that's what's gonna happen. I don't know if it really affects other people. Like, what do you think?
I think the root is in the belief itself, because in religion they ask you if you're a believer. You have to believe. The mind is a lot more powerful than we know. And that root, the connection of knowing something to be true and believing it and also feeling it, connects the spirit with the emotional, with the physical, and it creates stuff.
I believe you because that's like the law of attraction, right? So, you basically you say that that you have it,
Yeah.
and you subconsciously program your subconscious to know that it has it, and then you just have to move about without thinking about it, and that's the belief. Like, you just know it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen so much that you just don't even think about it. um Horoscopes, a forecast of a person's future, typically including a definition of character and circumstances based on the relative positions of the stars and the planets of the time of the person's of birth. So I think, that the horoscopes have always trumped me in a way. Like, you're right. Like you said it earlier, like some of that should be like real. You be like, damn. You like,
No, I was like, I'm sitting at home already, like in half professional, half unprofessional clothes. Like, I ain't planning to go not a goddamn place. And I was like, I ain't even asked for permission, but like, thank you for letting me know.
I mean, as far as like for me, I think as far as like character and circumstances with people, like when if you look up a horoscope, like what is a Cancer and like how they are, and then you meet a Cancer and you're like, oh, you are
Yeah,
kind of
what
this
is
way.
that?
I don't know what that is, but I mean, we're all connected to the stars. Do you believe that?
Yeah, like so, like saying that, it started making me think about that movie Soul. So I was like, what if like when your spirit comes here, you go through a certain area in the sky or some shit like that, but like when you do, that's just attached to you. So like celestially speaking, you are that particular area of stardust. Just
I believe that wholeheartedly. I mean, I think that we are connected to it in somehow, some kind of way. I mean, even the Bible talks about us being connected to the stars and, to the elements in the heavens. Um, the original purpose of tarot cards was to play games. A very
game.
explanation of rules. Tarot card deck is given in a manuscript.
I just
Um,
know they have the craziest pictures on them. What kind of games were they playing?
I let's go to Webster because Webster is probably a great place to get a good definition for this. So, um, any set of 78 playing cards, including 22 pictorial cards, used for fortune telling. So, tarot is playing cards, including pictorial cards, usually 22, used for fortune telling specifically. So that's what it's used for. And
22.
yeah, and so I think that people do that out of not knowing where they're going, being unsatisfied with life. It also says that these cards are developed for occult purposes. So there's no telling on exactly what the agenda is of that person's particular deck of cards. So we do have to be careful with
That's
that.
true. It's so many different decks, but I just assumed, my little assumptions that people would go looking for some type of reassurance about something that they're unsure about.
Apparently, it entered Europe in the 14th century, and it most likely coming from Malik, Egypt, which might make sense. The Egyptians might have been using tarot cards as well. Um, the first records, from 1367, and they spread it rapidly across the whole Europe. And I think that kind of trickles into the whole gypsy thing. Yeah, I mean, it's just I go on Facebook sometimes or Instagram and I see people posting tarot cards of like I guess them running their own reading on themselves, or I don't know who they run readings on, but like I said, I've done it before. I don't encourage it. I think that there is some type of power behind it and I don't understand that power. And so I tend to be drawn to it just like everybody else is, I think, but I really don't want to play with it too much. If I could just, I think, feel like I could not be bothered by stuff, which is impossible.
No, I just know I'm fascinated by it. I don't go looking for it, but I'm fascinated when I see it.
What fascinates you?
It's almost like when you go to church and the preacher's talking and you can like always find something in there and like, that's right, I didn't do that laundry earlier. Like it doesn't matter, you're gonna find something applicable. But like every time I have like cards down, it's like, dang, that sounds like me. Or if I hear something, it's like, dang, like for real, that's crazy because that's where I kind of am. But like I've never pulled cards, I've never paid anybody to do it. I've been around and other people have been like, da, da. It's like it's always a different type of deck or something like that.
Yeah, there's so many decks, and that's the thing I learned doing research about witchcraft, is that there's so many different decks, and there's, it's based off of your personal beliefs and how you want to craft it, I guess. But it's a craft, so but it's interesting that you said that, because it's in some of these articles I've been reading, it says that a lot of black women are turning to witchcraft because they are leaving the church,
Mm-hmm.
and they feel like God is not answering them, or their prayers don't get answered. And I think that that's not entirely true. I think that they're just not patient enough, or they asking for stuff that they're not supposed to have. Um, we desire things that we want that we're not supposed to have, and I think that we might use witchcraft to bring those to us, and we definitely probably use it to get back at motherfuckers.
Oh my goodness. I'm still in disbelief that there are like seriously these witches out here with melanin. Like I want to go see the Coven and see what's up because some of the stuff I saw in the video, it's like okay, I believe in the crystals and different um properties and benefits of them. It's just like gold has different benefits and different properties that attracts um us to even wear them, stuff like that.
I
So
don't
like,
judge those people, especially since I don't want no hex put on me.
but no, I'm like, where they at?
No, like, look, I've been meeting a lot of them in the dating world, and that's just a question that I have on my dating list of questions. And I just asked, "Are you Sabrina the Teenage Witch? Like, do you have,
Oh wow.
Yeah, I asked them that.
Yo,
I do.
I did meet this young lady one time, and the next day I felt like very tired, and my roommate was like, "Dang, she stole your energy. She Erica Badu'd you." And I was
Oh
like,
no.
"Oh no."
Oh
But
my
it was
god.
just like something so simple as like holding your hand above another hand, and like you could feel the tangible block of energy and like heat, and it was just like, oh, but you don't like think of the exchange or like,
Every day we exchange stuff with people we meet, and people that we're in relationships with. So I definitely understand you with that. But I don't really know. I think that I'm a believer in God, and the Bible tells me not to deal with witchcraft at all. And you've already heard me say that I've dealt with it in the sense of the tarot cards. I think we all have looked up our astrology low key. If you're a Christian out there,
low
don't
key.
act like you ain't look up your astrology today or yesterday or for the month or whatever it is. We all looking for answers, and the only thing that I can say that supports some of the things that we're looking for in the word, it says that seek knowledge. I've had a woman tell me that women have to manipulate. That's the only way that they can win. And so I ask you, do you think that like turning to witchcraft means that you're gonna be more you're gonna be more of a winner, you're gonna be more prepared for life?
I wouldn't say that. And like when you say turning before um black people, or historically speaking, before the adoption of Christianity, what religion or what type of spiritual practice was in place. So,
I like where we're going with this.
so it's like, is it cyclical? Are they going back to where they were, or what they know naturally? Because it's not that they are turning away from the church. What I've heard a lot of older people say is this generation just isn't raised in, and it's a lot less people going. They're not turning away. They're just not hatching in the church. So this new generation is doing other things, I would say.
I feel like anybody who's African American, has been to church through somebody or through their mama, grandmama, auntie. And when I was watching the Vice video documentary of it, of black women turn into witchcraft, a lot of them was just saying that, basically that they had been going to church and they just wasn't getting what they wanted. Jesus wasn't there for them. That's how they felt. But yeah, I mean, I think that you're absolutely correct. We need to go back historically, and historically, there was a lot of stuff going on back in the day, and voodoo was one of the main forms of religion in Africa that came over to the West Hemisphere. And voodoo is still practiced. Things like Santeria and the Spanish cultures, and yeah, these things are real though, because people believe in them and because there's possibly some spiritual entities out there. I mean, look at this rap music now. They talk about demon time. I mean, why pick that out of any word you could describe time?
3-6 Mafia, like it was like cool growing
Thank you.
up, like
Yes.
but the name was just so blatant, but you didn't care.
Yeah, we knew exactly what the fuck was going on. 3-6 Mafia, like 666
Like
Mafia.
they called themselves 666 Mafia. Like
They was saying wild shit too in the rhymes, and it's like
yes.
that beat is cold.
It what I still listen. Them beats still go hard.
And
yo.
Shorty is twerking off this song right now.
Like, golly.
I really hope people find God. I just know that God's real as well, and yeah, this stuff is all real. Like you said, it's about belief. And this Romanian lady and her daughters, and they're fucking real live witches. Like they have potions and they use dog shit and cat shit and they use
It's just hard left.
Yeah, they just take chicken feet and lizard liver and and they mix these concoctions together, and it's crazy because they're like handmaidens and they farm and shit too. So I don't know, it's just weird, you know what I'm saying? It's just a new dynamic that we're in, and it makes me nervous to date women that practice that I know that are witches, because it's like I could never fuck up. I need them to do a spell on me, like this nigga will never fuck up. Spell.
It's like, do y'all be knowing stuff like how they? I know women's intuition is a real thing, but like,
what does that mean? It's a real thing. Like do you think men don't have an intuition?
No, I'm saying like. I'm saying yes, but I'm saying like on like a motherly thing. I'm not even a mother, but like after you become that mother, like I can only assume.
Right.
But like yeah, so I'm not saying you don't.
No, I think men have intuition. We just don't say nothing about it, or we use it in a different form. Do I need to practice witchcraft to counteract your witchcraft? I don't know. It's like,
wow.
It's gonna be the battle of wizards versus witches and shit. Yeah, are we all gonna be flying around on brooms?
Not okay.
I don't know if it's okay. I'm thankful that these women told me what they are, though. I respect whatever they are, because
like I've asked a woman before, like for real, like, are you a witch? And then she was like, no, and I was like, I would expect you to lie. Why would you tell me the truth? Why would you say no? I'm not a witch.
Nah, this one chick was telling me about how she went into it, like she was doing some type of ritual and it had to do with like stretching and like trusting your fellow witching. I don't know. And I don't know, they was moving around and shit, and she said they had their eyes closed and they was humming and all that, I think. And she said like she was kind of like astro projecting, which basically is like you leave your body and see, you see the spiritual realm, I guess. And she said she got nervous then, because she was told that you got to be careful doing stuff like that because you don't want to get trapped wherever you at, so
sounded like Inception.
I don't know. So do you think all this stuff is real, or are we just bringing this stuff to? It's like, did these people get abducted by aliens? Are you really?
I believe in the possibility of anything that you can conceive. Because if you can think it, then it's possible. The brain, I'm pretty sure, is creating everything that we know to be real right now. Like when I go to sleep, like sometimes right before I go to sleep, I get a sense of where I'm going. And when in my dreams, I've been traveling to like these same places, some of these same homes I'm used to seeing on wherever side, wherever place I go when I sleep. There's so much out here that is available, that is possible and in existence. So I believe yes, time travel, aliens.
Yeah, I mean, the Bible talks about witchcraft. There was witches there. There was people reading tarot cards and oracles that read those little those little globes of, I don't know if smoke is in it, or I don't know what's in those globes, but
Hmm.
yeah, I think that I think that it is very interesting and it makes you curious, but curiosity also can kill a cat. And a lot of these things that I was researching actually causes you to be Satan's sex slave, somewhat, some sort of kind of way. I mean, I don't know. But these witches, they
Back to the sex slave.
I mean, these witches. So initially, like when you become a full fledged witch, apparently you're supposed to have an encounter with the devil, Lucifer, Satan, whatever you want to call
Oh,
him.
it's like that video.
Yeah, and then like he, I guess for lack of better words, rapes you or you give it to him. You know
Like
what I
the
mean?
video.
Yeah, and then you become.
Jeez.
He empowers you with, endelves you with powers supposedly. I don't know if our black people are that deep into it. I'm sure that voodoo stuff is real, down in Haiti and down in some parts of Florida and some parts of Africa. They really they know exactly what they're doing. I talked to somebody who does technology. He builds like AI type things, and he was like, I think that they have a part of the grand scheme. They don't have everything correct, but they have part of it.
Who?
Witches.
Oh.
They have the belief. They have that locked in, right? Like I'm not
But
sure what else they do, but
like okay, so in that you say they don't have part of the bigger scheme. To know that people who have access to a larger scheme also have access to the information that witches have access to, or they have access to some of those people.
right. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think that it's very interesting that a lot of black culture is leaning that way, and
Man.
I don't know. Like you said, maybe we're just retouching with our roots is and exploring what hasn't been explored before. So I'm not here to say it's right or wrong. I even though the Bible does say do not mess with magic. I just got to throw that out there. But you know, I would also say that you shouldn't play with things that you don't understand. You should have a well-rounded understanding about them. And what would your final word be on this witchcraft thing?
Um, I do believe in not playing with things I don't understand, but I've been indoctrinated into a society, into a whole way of life that I don't fully understand. Some things I just went with. Put your hand over your chest and I pledge allegiance. I pledge what? Who is that? Like you just go with some things. So to that effect, I
And I can understand what you're saying because yeah, like we've been indoctrinated with English language and with a culture that's not ours, a religion that supposedly is not ours, and these women just want to get in touch with their original roots. Um, I did hear one of them say that she could be really nice to you and really cool, or she can turn into somebody that's like that will fuck you up, like put a hex on you type shit. Yeah, so
oh no.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to this witchcraft culture, like
Hmm.
how delicate do you have to really treat people, anyways, right?
But why would it be that spiteful? Like I can even see even back it being used for like medicinal purposes to heal somebody or something. Somebody do something really horrible to your family or something. You like, all right, we about to fuck up your crops. All your kids gonna come up face down and like it's just like they do things
No,
like
but
that's
imagine
crazy.
imagine the today, like this nigga, you know how niggas really fuck with females' feelings, and like, and vice versa too, with with males getting their feelings hurt. But like, what, I'm gonna put a spell on him because he broke my heart, type shit. Like, women.
Yeah.
So have you not heard of spells being done to keep people in relationships? Like
I've only heard of like the
the
spaghetti.
spaghetti, right? What do you do with the spaghetti? You put
Oh
the
man.
you put the period blood in the
And
spaghetti
I was
sauce.
like, there's no way. They was like, don't eat spaghetti in the South. Don't go down to New Orleans to be eating nobody. Like, what the
What is the
heck?
spaghetti supposed to do to you though? If you eat it?
It's like a soul tie. Like
Oh, word.
you supposed to like love this woman. Like,
Yeah. So my bigger brother told me that you know always check under beds and in between mattresses, right? Because I don't know if it was done to him or if he was telling me a story. I forgot because it was a minute ago. But he was basically saying that the person's drawers, the male and the female's drawers, were tied together, and I don't know if there was like a ring of something around it, like rocks or salt or something around it, but it was in between the beds, and they were tied together. And this person, as he described it to me, was trying to get away from, I guess, the girl, or the girl was trying to get away from the guy, but they couldn't figure out why they couldn't get away. And then, I guess they was cleaning up the house or something happened, and they found the drawers tied together.
wow.
So, I
That's
mean,
crazy.
it is crazy. Like, I've heard of some crazy ass stories about a whole bunch of
Tying
stuff.
draws together to keep somebody.
Yeah,
And
people
putting
burn
it under
candles and
your
all that shit too. Have you heard about burning candles?
no, so like I've seen the candles with like the deity, like I don't know what even to call them. Like,
Okay, yeah, that's a
I
little
don't want to
advanced
just
too.
like make up a name for it and just be like insensitive or rude.
Okay, so based off the
But it's so
research,
many different candles.
yes, you can. So basically, they like to use plain colored candles. Each color means something,
Mm-hmm.
and then apparently they engrave something on these candles. And this is public research. I'm not teaching people how to do witchcraft. You can just Google, as you're researching it, and you'll just find the same information. I just want to put that out there. But yeah, I mean, they light candles and meditate over them, and they apply oils. And I'm like, this is almost kind of like Christianity a little bit, because we have oils, we have candles, but they're not colored. They're just candles. I mean, even the Jewish people have the 7-11 I forgot how many candles it is. Forgive me, Jewish community.
Oh no.
Don't cancel me. Um,
Even that video like that you had me watch, like one of them they were talking about like how you talk about witchcraft and all these ritualistic practices on one side, but then on the other side you go to church and you ritualistically consume the body of Christ and drink the blood, and it's just like, are they not similar?
that is very, very true. I mean, would you say that you think that I mean, yeah, this really we don't want to affect people's too much out here and with their religious mindsets. I think that you bring up a very valid point though, like the rituals, if we actually laid them out verbatim, right?
Yeah.
Point by point of each ritual, like how similar are those rituals? Right? But it could also
They
be the
have
inverse.
books, and you get in the church. They say, "Repeat after me." Call and response. Some things you say together. You join together. You wear certain things at certain times to
Yes.
show your different ranks in your spiritual walk. It's
But I also understand that, it could also be the inverse, which, the inverse of how one of the videos explained it is that everything in witchcraft is just the opposite of the Bible, of what God preaches. So, there everything is in inverse. That's why it's so similar, but it's like, going backwards versus going forward. So yeah. But I mean, to each his own. Is that what they say? And do if thou wilt, because it is your
um,
choice. Aleister Crowley is a male witch, which we call wizard.
you're right.
and that was his thing. Do as thou will, and I don't encourage it, but what I'm saying is it does make sense. It's up to you what you want to do.
But it's crazy now that we as a community feel like we have more access to just that free will and we have more room to do what we want without feeling like our neighbors are all outwardly conspiring against us. It's crazy how now we don't cling to the church, but we did when everybody else was against us. It's like, oh well, let's meet up at church. Let's all go to church. We were closer to God. It was you could see the relationship on us when we were outside. But now that it's like we can do what we want, it's like kids who are like out on summer vacation or your parents out or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think like a lot of people just don't know what to do with themselves.
The relationship with church
I'm
is changing.
yeah, I mean, but that's historical too. Africans were predominantly Muslim at one period of time, and then of course there was a um just fucked up incident. Let's just
Oh
call it
my
what it is.
gosh.
And like I said before, we got indoctrinated with Christianity. Um, some people, some black people would say that that was God's will to get us out of voodoo and to get us out of being Muslims. I don't know. Historically, real religions change just as well as powers change. Kings and queens, it just rotates. It's all about who's in power and what their indoctrination is, I believe. Like, witches were really popular, I guess, but in the dark ages, and it was a different time then. And this time now is different as we move into the technological age.
They had to document witch trials to let us know that they were hunting down people who were doing magic in the open. Like,
People were scared because the people believe. So, as again, these research that we did, the people were frightened of people who said they was a witch. And I think that's why they really started those mad because people were believing it. And remember, those are times where we are, because our senses are terrible. We can be deceived very easily if the left hand don't see what the right hand is doing. Um, so people just believed anything, I think, back then. But it's just, yeah, it's just interesting. I definitely implore you to go not go, but to ask people when you encounter them, like, hey, do you practice witchcraft? I think you'd be surprised about what their answer is.
man, I asked this lady I used to rent a room from in Virginia. It was like some weird stuff I experienced at her house, and I was like, "Has anybody ever, said anything weird here, or any like type of ritual or anything happened here?" Like she went off on me because I asked a question about anything spiritual going on in her house. I was like, "Man, would you not want to know? Got like whole beasts walking through this piece."
I think I would want to know. I mean, that's like you people try to sell houses, not telling you that 5, 6 people died in the house and shit. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh my
it was
god!
all at the same time and shit. And like,
Let you find that chalk outline up under that
nah, they
rug in
let
the
some shit
basement.
happen in the house, and you calling your realtor like, this is the oddest thing. The oddest thing happens in the house, and it's like, oh yeah, we forgot to tell you 6 people was murdered in that joint. We just finished closing that deal though. Peace. Hang up the phone. I don't know. Yeah, they make these movies up, but I mean, so what do you think about the movie? And this is really good. We're starting to get somewhere with this. What do you think about the movie Get Out?
Oh
And
man.
that being witchcraft applied to black people to be slaves. Have you seen Get
Well,
Out, first of all?
I've seen Get Out,
Okay.
and being witchcraft applied to black people to be slave, I think it's a layered application in a way where the being induced with the spoon and um being pacified to a whole relaxed state. I think that comes in the things that the poisons that we've been trained to love. Like we eat horrible things. We listen to horrible music in mass. Not everybody, but most of us. Um, We have sayings that are just horrible. We practice repeating these horrible mantras, stuff that we've seen on TV, stuff that we've heard, whatever it is. It's just nasty ass shit. We don't even think about it. It's just words. Um,
Words or spells?
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why we call it spelling. We out here like living Hogwarts real life. We out here learning how to spell. When we go to hey, put them together, but they don't tell you what you're saying. When you wake up, good morning. Like, what's good about it? Like, don't nobody know. Hello. Like, goodbye. It's like, what's good about it?
Goodbye.
Like,
Yeah.
you just telling people shit. But like
Listen,
then, like with them harvesting the eyes and stuff, I think that's like a lot of people missing. That kid who was in Atlanta who was found with all the newspaper in him, like they are taking young black boys' organs. They go for young black males because if you get an older one, he probably fucked it up with alcohol and drugs and shit by then. So you got to go for the young ones, and ain't nobody looking for them. They probably out here like about to shoot each other anyway. So you can just say that. Find a picture of him with a gun. People ain't gonna really care about it. It's just another little black dude gone. But they look for, and I think it's some real shit. And then Kanye was so close to the story. It was just crazy.
yeah, I mean, do you think that they say that the Kardashians are witches? Do you think that they're witches? I mean, they say that anybody who encounters them gets their life sucked from them, and
Every man has gone through some like huge life transition. Everyone
yeah, I am
in their life,
very um,
they're
I'm
reborn over there. They just change.
yeah. This is just all very very interesting, and dang, I kind of forgot what we was about to talk about. Don't worry, I'm gonna edit it, but dang, we was talking about something. We was on a roll. Anyways, but yeah, I just think that it's all just interesting. It's new. Um, we was talking about so what do you think about Jay-Z, Beyonce in the music industry, these celebrities? You know how they say the Illuminati and how they're the occult, which means that they're pretty much witches. They practice, rituals. Beyonce's always talking about the spiritual being real, and there's been recordings of Jay-Z talking about how he believes Beyonce now because and Rihanna, she comes from the islands, you know what I'm saying? She know that shit real. They for a minute we was thinking Rihanna was a witch, you know what I'm saying? And what do you think about that in the music industry? And is it being applied? Has it been being applied? Or are we looking too deep into it? When we say that these people are occultists or ritualists or, you know.
I don't know why. I feel like it's normal to me. I expect it when you reach that status of not only popularity but icon or just household name. Everybody knows you. You can never go outside by yourself again. I expect you to be like tied into stuff like that. Like of course, like duh, like have a seat. Like
Right.
I know who you are. Like
Right. So people
I
are
would never expect them to not just be in there like, oh, like how did you get there? Why are you here? Like needle on the record. Who let light at the party? Like this is a table of darkness
yeah,
to have influence.
I think that you are absolutely correct. Like who wouldn't think that, and how did y'all get there exactly, right? There's a photo out. It's an old photo, but it's basically looks like Jay-Z from like the 1920s, and it looks just like him. And so people are like, what the fuck is this? Like did you go through a time warp, or have are you yeah, some of this witchcraft gets really naughty. It gets really deep into some really serious sacrificial type things, and I
Mm.
just want to make sure that I stay clear of that. I remember seeing a movie called what was this movie called? It was about a family, and like there was like a demon in the house. What was this movie called? Oh man, they had so many of them. But at the end, the last movie was I'm gonna edit this. I'm gonna edit this. I need to figure out what this movie is called really
You
quick.
said that the family had a demon in the house. I was like, that's so many movies. Like,
Um,
you said there was a lot of them. Like, oh hell no, it's too many
uh,
already.
no, there's one specifically. Insidious. Insidious. In the last film of Insidious, there was they they that towards the end of the movie they found out that it was the source of all of this whole demonic activity, and the source of all this stuff was it was witches, and it was females, and they had like a little witch tribe, and like they indoctrinated all the little girls
Hmm.
of the family, and so they kill off the boys.
You know that's crazy.
Yeah.
When you say witches, I only think of women, but like I don't think of male witches. But now I'm thinking of it like in a secret society way.
Well, male witches are called wizards.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying I still wouldn't even think of wizards as a modern day thing. Like imagine a man like oh, like it's like a secret society thing to me.
Even in the Masons, I think in the Masons, some of the top ranks are called they're wizards. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Or even the clan, that was a grand wizard.
I'm glad you said it because I was,
Ah.
yeah, and even, yo, so I've been hearing some freaky ass shit about that, like, like we've been really deceived, like supposedly. Anyways, I don't want to talk about that.
Oh,
But they
snap.
basically there was a black dude talking about how the Ku Klux Klan is really black people and low key, and I was just like, this is so far fetched, but anything's possible now. There's aliens running around in the sky. I don't know.
The
Everybody's
clan is black people?
well. Remember, Dave Chappelle did a comedy skit about that.
Yeah, with Clayton Bigsby.
Tyrone Bigsby, yo, he was a blind black
Oh,
man, yo.
yes.
Um. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily expect it from these superstars. I don't know if they're really selling their souls. I think that there's a lot of rumors out here. Black people on YouTube are definitely saying that Little Dirk is definitely some type of demonic entity, and he's like the archangel of death. And when we do music, is that a form of witchcraft? It's incantation.
I want to say it's not. I think it helps. It's meditating. Like that's why they sing at church. They have choirs. Like when you're in a certain key,
But they're
when you're
praising.
meditating, yeah. But when you do it together, like when God say two or more, what is it? How many? Like when more of you gather and praise and come to me, I will greatly. What is it like?
It's basically in the word that two or more come together,
Yes, that.
that you can't be, that God is gonna come in the midst of things, right? You're pretty much
Yes.
gonna get your way.
So I
But
feel like
but
in
that's
music you can
also
reach more people and you have vibrations.
but that's a principle
And
of
then people
God's.
can then like it usually rhymes. Like that's why I'm saying the music we listen to and the stuff that we think is hot, we don't even think about it. But going around with Cardi B, the beat is hot. You don't think about what you're saying, but you're saying it over and over. You're
That's a
meditating on
that's
it.
a that's an incantation. So
Yeah,
incantations are a series of words said
we're
as a
meditating.
magic spell or charm. The use of words as a magic spell. So
That's why older people look at us like we crazy because they get older. They either listen to gospel, they listen to jazz or an instrumental or something because it's like they want to be induced in a certain mood. And they look at us like, why are you saying that over and over? Why are you like why? They look at that energy as what it is because they're an outsider.
so there's witchcraft everywhere then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a friend who was a Freemason and he's also like in the Marines. He's been around doing some beautiful things. And he said, if I knew what he knew, I would look up and see symbols everywhere. Because
I
he
see
said he
symbols
can't tell me
everywhere.
stuff about Freemasonry, of course, but he just said everywhere in logos. And like, if you just look down a street, like, it's just so many like primes and like subliminal messaging that we're picking up every day.
Is that a form of witchcraft? I think so.
Yep.
So we're all practicing witchcraft regularly every day, even though
We're being induced by it. We're being manipulated by it.
manipulated.
We're using it now. Like even the clothes we buy a lot of times, we're wearing it for other people to see. We're playing into it without even knowing it. But that's because we don't have the understanding. It's like the seeking knowledge that you were talking about.
Yeah, we gotta seek knowledge.
But we seek knowledge on social platforms because it'd be funny. The thread, you can just scroll forever. Just your thumb fall off, you'll buy another one.
And we do that also because we're
uh,
all addicted to our cell phones. I mean, but there's
yeah,
addiction called nomophobia. It means you're addicted to your cell phone.
yep.
And yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely correct. Even when we get to really thinking about witchcraft and breaking down these dynamics, there's witchcraft everywhere, absolute, and you can't avoid it in a sense because it's been so encreviced down to the words that we speak. Even the words that we're speaking right now could be spells. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anytime you say something against somebody or anytime you say something positive towards somebody, that is a spell in a way. Is that correct?
I think so. Think about our slang. So I don't think we as a community make our own slang. We have largely been okay with taking what we think is available for us. So like calling each other dogs, bitches, and it's like affectionate, but then it's like we don't act like animals. But it's like we call each other things that are we refer to each other with this animal
We
energy
call each
instead
other
of
baby. Does that mean that we start acting like babies?
we act immaturely a lot of times. We
Hmm.
like yeah, I'm going to my crib. Like it's a lot of infant like
It's an infant, right? And they promote all these infant rappers
back
too.
in '99 and the 2000s when Soldier Boy was out here in the 13X shirts out here looking like big old babies like that. That shit was wild, but
Yo,
everybody was with it.
let me tell you, I am total agreement with you. I think that
Like,
this
bruh.
is yeah. It's just interesting now that you bring that type of dynamic in. It just makes you laugh. Like we live in a baby society. We call each other baby. We've been doing that for such a long time, and then we wonder why we have issues because we assert our brains to a child, an infant.
Yeah.
I don't know if but is it sexy to be like adult? Hey, adult. I don't know. There's no sex appeal. You can't.
No.
Yeah. But I mean, we don't really mean it like you're a baby when we call you baby. We say that's just like you're my baby. I love you.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, like I just realized the other day, I think a relationship is a beautiful, vulnerable place because like it's one of the only places where somebody will allow you the space to be vulnerable and will treat you like their baby. Like anywhere else, it's like your homeboys, your family, your friends, they're gonna be like, grow up, like get the fuck out of here. But like to be in a relationship, they're like, you can do that here. So like I understand that, but it's like
Say it with your chest. Yeah.
don't be taking this shit to the next level. The
We-
super baby dome.
Yeah, we
Niggas asking you for money and shit. That's cool. We share, but you can't always be over here in the pocket. And then you need this, and then it's like, all right, like the baby boy. Like they didn't even have to name that goddamn movie Baby Boy, and they got to stop playing that shit on TV.
that is so true because like that is a perfect example because they kept she was babying him or they just kept letting him get by on things, and eventually he learned that he just got to stand up for himself in all types of aspects and stop being a baby
That's
boy,
that 99 to 2000 T-shirt.
right? That was before Tyrese was asking Will Smith to help him out and was crying on Instagram. I remember all those things. I mean, no,
When he
no,
was on the bus.
he was on the bus.
I just remember he went back to singing on the bus.
Uh, he was going. He was mad because they was trying to stop the whole Fast and the Furious, and he's like, "I am Fast and the Furious. Fuck, do you mean?"
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe I'm taking him too far on the stretch.
Maybe he took it too far if he said anything like that.
No, he said a lot of shit. Tyrese he had
Oh
a year
no.
where I think he was going through a
Divorce?
I don't think that nigga ever been married. Him and Rev Run are really good friends, and they was going back and forth about why he can't find a wife and all this type of stuff. And I feel him. I mean, we the same sign. I'm a Capricorn. Um, but yeah, it was he. I think he was going through a humiliation ritual.
Oh man,
Yeah, because like
yeah.
you said, once you up in that range, you know what I'm saying. We expect it. Like
It's like I
so.
feel like they pick a spouse for you. Do you accept? And if you don't do what we say, then you're gonna get humiliated. You gotta sacrifice somebody to make it to the next level. It's just
That's
like I
crazy. They
really
get you. They get you down to the T. They get you a wife. You know, they get you all these things. A machine. They just put you in this machine that they already have
imagine
prepared.
going up there and keeping a regular ass bitch and trying to tell her the shit that you finding out. It's
No,
just
that's
like,
like the movie Devil's Advocate.
oh
He was
man,
recruited by the devil, and his wife was regular from the country. His mom was regular from the country, but she was a Holy Ghost herself. Okay, she was the super evangelist. Okay, and she could smell the devil. But in the movie, so interesting. There was a lot of witchcraft being done, and the wife just couldn't handle it. Like you were saying, she couldn't handle that lifestyle because he was a high powered lawyer where he was around high powered figures,
yeah.
and they were tempting him with all types of stuff. But come to find out in the movie, his mom actually has sex with the devil, and so he's the devil's son. That's why it's called the Devil's Advocate. Everybody should see it. It's Keanu Reeves is in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really fucking phenomenal movie in the sense of like on a spiritual level, esoteric, and metaphysical level. Like there's a lot of meaning in that movie. And once he found out his mom had slept with the devil, he was like, "Oh shit, you got beguiled."
Oh,
Yeah,
beguiled.
yeah. But you see, she
Jeez.
ran to God because she knew she had did. And so, black women out there, I love you a lot. Find the right way. God is the right way, but I still need some more training myself.
I'm learning to trust my intuition, and in trusting my intuition, trusting hearing God and knowing my way and my method and my style and my reality of communicating with God. So I was like, everybody got a little different way, but you have to trust your way and not try to come some weird way.
I read the word, so there's no weird way about that. It's pretty specific about what you should and shouldn't be doing. But like, I do
Lord.
explore other knowledge because, like I said, I have done tarot cards, and I have hired personal readers for myself, and I think that I've done that because I'm really just trying to figure out what's going on around me. I'm focused, mission driven. I'm not this mastermind character ghost, who knows any and everything. Like um I love God personally, and I just am not solidified as much as I thought I was. I've been tested a lot last year, and even with me looking at these tarot cards and having readers, it does make me feel a little um uneasy because there's an unknown. You don't know how strong people are with this shit. You don't know what they do. You don't know what kind of spirits they coming with. But I also just wanna.
I didn't think they could do anything but pick up the card and put it down.
Nah, no, no, no. I did some
But
research
then
on it.
you just telling me what the card is. It's like, oh,
No,
cool. That's what's up.
no. So they definitely in contact with the spirits of some spiritual level. The cards read out. They pray over them. They pray over them. You can just go on YouTube and just look at any of this shit, right? Just for example for yourself out there, people. But like they pray over them before they run the cards. They meditate over them, which is a form of prayer, and then which means that they're trying to, and they some people have spirits that they're in communion with. I don't go that far deep into it. I deal with this one particular black lady, and she's an elder, and she know exactly what she doing. She know exactly what she's saying. She from the old school. She not like some new entity out here. And she has definitely helped me heal a lot. I've gotten healing through a lot of the stuff that me and her discuss. And that's why I say I don't really know how big God is.
Hmm.
right? Because that's again like the guy I was telling you about, the technology guy that does AI work. He's like, I think they have part of it. They just don't have it all. And maybe they do. I mean, like we talked about, witchcraft is everywhere. And we just, you know,
I think a lot of it is the words and knowing what words. That's why they
and the
have like
symbols.
spell books. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like there's ancient sacred geometry, and geometry is putting together certain lines, certain shapes. But even in the Bible, like I don't even. I think I got up to like god dang Deuteronomy, like Leviticus, something. He begat him. I was even tracing it out. I found it the other day. I was like, I really want to see the tree and how it goes. I got lost in that so many times. But even if I don't believe the Bible, if I do, if I don't, it doesn't matter. In the beginning, it says, in the beginning, that was the word. The vibration of using words creates a life. But that's why, like, everybody has a language. They're trying to get you to create certain vibrations out of your mouth with your vocal cords to create certain things. Like, there's a certain even they're coining speech for baby talk. Like, we raise it, we talk up here, like, and like babies and puppies, they react to it. It's like certain vibrations are real and we make them. In the beginning there was the word and it was good. Everything is made by speech.
Yeah, communication. Communication.
Like even there's this Japanese doctor, what is his name?
Michikaku.
Emoto something.
Oh, what kind of doctor is he?
Not a doctor.
Scientist?
Yes, that. Sorry.
Michikaku.
Yes. So like he did this whole experiment with water where he would speak nice, beautiful words to like one sample, and it would like under microscope have the most beautiful crystal structures, and he would speak horribly to another sample, and it would like delineate and just break down and be like this ugly ass sample. And like even with rice, they would go by and say, "I love you" to one jar of rice. It would preserve. The other one, they would say, "I hate you," and it would like start to deteriorate faster. Like the words.
Yeah, the words are definitely something um serious.
That's why preachers pray over you. Like a great one, you would go far to just for him to like lay hands and say something like just bless us, Pastor. It's like them words be real. They have prayer circles. Somebody, can you just pray for my grandma told me the other day that her friend was praying for me to move home. She's like, yeah, she said all her prayers come true. She get everything. I was like,
This what I'm trying to tell you. Like
y'all
this
come
is,
together and do this.
it's the same on both sides. So for all the black women who feel like they have to turn to witchcraft, it's the same. It's just we got to put more focus into God. And sometimes God wants us to learn things, you know. Cater to you, Black Twitter. Was that song too much in the day that we live in now? Should they have never made that song even though it was 17 years old? Are we really complaining about a song from 17 years ago about catering to a man?
That was around the big shirt era. Let's see. Um,
That was around the big shirt era.
20 years ago. I think they reaching. They definitely looking for something to be
Who
mad
is
about.
Black Twitter?
Black Twitter is the collective, hilarious and never pleased conscious. Just bringing gifts. It's like fuck that. What else you got? It
Yo,
never sleeps. It's always something.
okay, so I mean,
I was told that Twitter is the place for me. I've never been on this Black Twitter train. But they was like, this is where you gotta be. Like they think like you. It's shit. Nope.
so so you know, Michelle actually got on her
Oh man.
Instagram and she
Her voice, yeah.
she got oh my god, she got on, she got up here on her Instagram and said, sitting in the restaurant with at Chad Johnson 77 and Cater to You comes on, and I made this face. She made the emoji face. She posted the emoji face with the eyes looking up with the mouth like, oh my god, right? And I made this face because he was waiting on the first and second verse to be fulfilled one day. She made that face again with the eyes rolled up. I wrote my verse about empowering and uplifting the man. I wish I would tap me on my shoulder while I'm asleep. That
Mm-hmm.
was Kelly's promise, not mine. So, and then she goes on to say, my aunt said, don't make no promises you can't keep. Sorry, Chad. Nah, I'm just playing, kinda. I know I know that I now have a man worthy of those first two verses and cater to you. I was so over the foolishness back then, and I was like, I'll just let you know you're a good man without all the extra, and I'll always have your back. Laugh out loud emojis. P.S. We're waiting until marriage for some of those wishes and desires to happen. Pray for us. Damn, sound like he not fucking right now, cuz. I don't know what you think about that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's what sparked Black Twitter to be like, because they were saying some things like, let me see. Oh, my life would be purposeless without you. Yeah. Um, you
It
know,
sounds like an anthem for like a hoe. Pimps and hoes unite. Life would be purposeless. This
so it's like it's like it's like, yeah, I want you to know I'm proud, let you know that I admire you, what you do. If if I need to reassure you, my life would be purposeless without you. um yeah, something about how you buy everything I ask you. You know what I'm saying?
see,
I mean, if somebody's always buying you what you want, should they not be catered to? I don't know what you
I
think.
mean, I will probably do a little bit of catering.
Yeah.
I haven't seen an invoice yet. I'm just giving thanks where thanks is due.
Yeah, she said, okay, she was trying to say, I wish you would tap me on my shoulder while I'm asleep. Like, and that was one of the she was saying in the song, like, just tap me on my shoulder while I'm asleep, when you come home, you know what I mean? And
Baby, I heard you.
yeah, I cater to you. I don't know.
Child. Yeah, it was all cute when whoever wrote the lyrics.
I mean, is Black Twitter going through this because the feminists are just trying to attack something? Do they have?
They don't have anything else to do right now.
Do they? Are they need something to it? Is Black Twitter feminist? Because is this a
I don't
feminist
know. This is a
attack?
good
I don't know.
question. I'm not that affiliated with the blackness of Twitter or Twitter at all.
This is what they said. This is online. I'm just saying. These are the titles of these articles. Black Twitter comes for Destiny's Child, catered to you 17 years after release.
It sounds like when Spawn came out, like a black spinoff of a superhero, Black Twitter. Like it's a whole black entity within itself. But won't let us have our own Twitter, there will you? No, it's just the black section. It's like the black hair.
It's the black section of
black
the
hair care
newspaper.
aisle. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, this the hair care.
The ethnic hair. Excuse me.
Let me look up Black Twitter today.
Paper fallout, Kente.
Yeah, I mean, this was a good song. I think it probably did a.
It's still sound. People still gonna be singing it, and then afterwards they're gonna talk shit about it, but they're gonna sing it while it's on.
That sound like the Friday when he gone. I ain't gonna when he gone. I'm gonna be saying something, but when he come back, I ain't gonna be saying that. I'm gonna be talking again. Yeah, I mean, Black Twitter, we gotta find better things to talk about. There's a lot of black men dying in Chicago over, this demon time and shit like that. And there's a lot of Michelle. Yeah, that's their thing. That's like their signature demon time. That means that's when hoes get to hoeing and niggas get to plowing other niggas, turning their TVs off, and you know, uh, they just be doing wild. That's what they said. It's like it's time for they demon time.
Is that summer? Is that a code word for summertime? What is happening?
Demon time is means that we about to knock some heads off, or they already did, or some woman is getting turned the hell up, and I mean all the way turned up. But that's I don't I definitely don't stand behind none of that stuff. I just think that it's crazy how we just let our youth just run around amok like they running around, but at the same time, I appreciate their fearlessness.
Yeah.
I don't like that we kill each other, and I wish that we had a different objective to work together. Then I think that a lot of these dudes need to get put in a situation where they have to work together, and that might solve some of this beef. Or
Hmm.
I know that it's difficult out there in the world right now. Crime is up everywhere. Trust me, I've been criminalized,
Oh shit.
but as we all have in some kind of form or manner. So we really should try to help some of these people that can't help themselves. I mean, what you think about the youth right now? And
Well, I know the youth always has this spark of revolution because they're like least indoctrinated and they have less to lose and they don't understand why you're
is
not
is
doing
this a,
more.
is this a revolution of them killing each other? Is that a revolution of some sort? Is that a statement of some sort?
I think it all starts with the environment that they see and grow up in.
Of course,
They see people get positive reinforcement for doing that where they're from. They're well known. They
right,
look tough.
right.
And also they may not grow up with a lot of affection or a lot of support or whatever it is they think they need, but they see dudes over there like they roughhouse, they high five, they whatever. It's like, oh, that's a family. Like to some of them, it's really the breakdown of that. They're not in college to like have no fraternity experience. They just want a family, and they also get girls, money.
Yeah, that's how it starts out. Until um the betrayals start happening, and then just like you don't become family or friends anymore. Like, so yeah, I definitely think that, yeah, that's definitely how it is. And but it definitely changes. They say that the streets is not, it has an expiration date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All these people come out of Chicago,
Are you
but
kidding me? It was a nigga in DC just the other day rolled up on a lady in a Maserati. Okay, on live on camera. They had the camera was just on him. Okay, rolled up on a lady in a Maserati and just jumped out the Maserati and just started blazing this lady's car up. He shot her. I don't know if he hit the kids. I don't think he hit any of the kids, but they had bullets flying past them, and then he proceeded to point at the car behind him. He might not have had too many more bullets because he was letting off on this lady's car, and she got up out of there, but she definitely got shot a couple times. And yeah, I mean, it's just kind of reckless, this type of shit that's going on. I'm like, what the fuck kind of shit is that?
yeah.
Yeah, and this dude was an older dude.
Yeah, I don't understand that. If it's like the pressure cooking of the whole pandemic environment, people stress about money and stuff is changing. You know, today I was watching a movie and like I realized this pandemic done changed me a little bit.
What
Like,
what did it change?
shouty, like I was watching this movie, it was crazy and it was like kind of what's the series? It was kind of dated, period dated. So it's like back in like the 40s, 50s, whatever, and this lady was just outside and I started feeling like a fish out of water for her because I was like, how's she around all these people without a mask? I was like, dang, she need her mask. And I started feeling like I was looking for it for her. And I was like, we've been wearing masks so fucking long outside that now when I see somebody on TV, I'm like, why don't you have on your mask?
So I was in South Carolina and nobody was wearing a mask at all. By the way, but yes,
Wow.
um, Dr. Fauci emails have been hacked or were confiscated, and he said that these masks were never going to prevent anything at all. And so we have been walking around dumb,
It's changing behavior.
wearing masks, knowing that it doesn't really block us from getting the virus. Also, this virus was in his emails being talked at. It was discovered in the Wuhan lab, not from the wet market of bats. And I kept saying to myself, that makes sense because these motherfuckers been eating weird animals for centuries. They didn't just start that shit. I'm sure they know how to cook the shit.
Right.
That's right.
Golly.
Like they've been eating weird shit for centuries, guys.
Point.
You know, like I kept saying, nah, they lying to us. I mean, right.
The truth be so easy that it look crazy.
Bro, I had a female tell me do that at dinner because I just been dating, and she was like, she almost like, you remember, don't be a menace while drinking your juice in the hood.
Yes.
Okay, so you remember when he was in his mail carrier thing?
He said, "Do we?"
No. Before that, when he was with the girl from Cedric the Entertainer's.
Oh, her head was turning.
Yeah, so the girl was doing shit like that. We was at dinner and shit. She was like, I was like, wait a minute. She was like, I'm about to kirk the fuck out on you. I was like, oh. I was like, because I was telling the truth about something. I don't even remember the subject matter. And she was like, I know you're telling me the truth, but you should have lied to me. And I'm like, huh? And she was like, and I'm like, oh shit, she about to do demon time on me. And I was like, it was just off the chain. But I guess people really do want you to lie to them.
Some people, and I would think that that's a weakness of wanting somebody to reinforce a false reality for them. It's like, help me uphold this, lie to me. Like, why are you not ready to tell the truth?
There's the magic question I need to ask you is this: do women want to be lied to?
It depends on which women you're talking to. I would say a woman, no. Hurt women who aren't really ready to embrace the reality of where they are and the decisions that they've made, no. Because they're not ready to say, yeah, I did some things that have led me to some places I didn't want to be. I did some things that even hurt myself. They're probably still blaming things outside of themselves. So no, they don't want to look up and be like, this is where the fuck I am. Lie to me. Like, help me create this fantasy so that tomorrow hurts less. It's like, but it's a little bit of strength in ripping off a band-aid sometimes. And be like, I fucked up a couple days ago. Let's laugh about this shit. Not giving a fuck is powerful.
Not giving a fuck is powerful.